ro.creating. Welcome. So now that I've done with my wood store, I wanted to line the other wall, the opposite wall, in exactly the same way. This wall is going to have all my benches. It's going to have all my big machinery. And one thing that I needed in this wall that I didn't have on the one opposite was power. So you can see here, I'm after getting my phase 1 electric put in, and now I'm just picked out my 3 nicest pieces of the plywood. Like, that is an interesting grain pattern for such a cheap sheet. I was delighted with it. It looked lovely. So then just basically symmetrically started in the middle, worked my way up both sides. This is my backdrop for what it will eventually be my working area. So I just wanted to have a nice bit of symmetry to it. Didn't want to start on one side and have, you know, an uneven backdrop. That wouldn't have been good. So again, just got it, cut it, made sure everything fitted, and banged it up. So I have 2 sockets on the left, 2 sockets on the right. And again, my long bench will be in front of this. So down the other end, the gable end of the shed, the door end, same thing, but this in fairness is going to be where all my dusty machinery is going to be. I'm going to have a lathe, I'm going to have a sander, table saw, rotor table. So I'm putting them down this side so it'll just be easier to clean out. Like, how easy is it to do what work you need to do, and then basically to get your blower and blow all the dust out the door. And again, power had to be fed. And again, I can't tell you how highly I think of laser levels. They are so easy to use and they're so handy. Any little excess bits then, just cut as you need them, tack them in. As you can see, I have a support, a shed support there, and I wanted to build around that. So I got some 2x1, found out where all the bolts and stuff for that were, and just basically took out a hole so they could fit in over them. And screwed him in place. Beat it construction glue and in he goes. And now that'll allow me to build up and around that support. Lovely. I added on about a 4-foot depth of ceiling panels as well, because when I kind of got my camera angles, I didn't want to be looking at sort of insulation on the ceiling. So I decided to put some of them up there, and then I wanted to build up where that join is. I wanted to build up so that I could backlight it down. I was kind of interested in doing that. So I took the worst, the bendiest, the nastiest of all my cheap old 2x1.5, and I screwed that level. Again, using my laser line. You can probably see it over there on the right hand side. Again, just such a handy thing. So screwed in one length, and then I got the even cheapest, even bendier, even more horrible 2x1.5, and I screwed that into it as well. So I get a nice kind of a 4-inch depth or 4-inch relief when you add the two of them together. That'll all be hidden. And there's my little monster. wanted to put my little front face in it, and how I marked that is I got my vertical line, got my cheapest, roughest, dirtiest piece of 2x1 and basically lined it up until it was just vertical, just in line with the one below. So that means that when I came along and put a face on that, that is going to create a vertical line for that face. Very handy way of doing it. So you can see there's a little bit of laser cast on both pieces of wood on the ceiling. Figured out what depth I wanted my little relief piece to come down, stick down. Cut that, tacked it over the front. Again, going symmetrically from the middle. So you have a nice anchor point on top and a nice strong anchor point all along the bottom. And I cut it so that there would be a lip sticking down, so when I put my LED lights in underneath that, you won't see the bulbs, you won't see the light sources, but you will see the light. Once all that was done, the full width of it, I got my bit of moulding. I love moulding. Just trimmed everything off. That'll all be painted black. Like there. So now it's all painted black. And one little trick I learned over the years is when you're getting wood to meet paint and you want to get a nice clean line, paint your mouldings and then stick them in afterwards, and it creates a finished line for you. As you can see, flawless.
So, delighted. This is all done. My theory on things like this is kind of get the nice bits done first so you can be proud of it. Delighted I painted it black. Delighted. Next thing is a workbench along here, an assembly table up there, and kind of good then to start making stuff. So, listen, all good. Again, thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Me and Dusty, we'd love to see you again. Thank you.